Well, good day everybody. Welcome to PV Media. Pete speaking, of course. And I'm in the garage today and doing a little bit of a field trip, I guess you could say. I wanted to try something new. So I'm thinking about doing these Ridgeback Ramblings. It's a pseudonym that I've had for quite some time. The reason I called it Ridgeback Ramblings is because Ridgeback is the famous lion hunting dogs that were bred in Africa, in Rhodesia. And I consider myself a Rhodesian or a Ridgeback, as we like to call ourselves. And the ramblings, of course, is because I do ramble a lot, as you can tell. So it's my rambling stories, my rambling words, and that sort of thing. So that's what the rambling is, not the rambling of traveling. I wish I could travel all over the world. I have been around the world once, but it's unlikely that I'll ever get to do that again. And I thought, I've used it to do blogs and that sort of thing in the past. And I thought I would do Ridgeback Fireside Ramblings. In order to do that though, now this is to talk about where I come from, which is Ridgeback land, or Rhodesia, as it used to be known, now known as Zimbabwe. And I thought I would talk to my grandkids, because a lot of stories from that part of the world, from our history and that sort of thing. So I'm doing this mainly for my grandkids, but for my family all over the world, because we're scattered far and wide. And the best place to put it is on YouTube for them all to see, and anybody else who wants to follow along as well. You know, a few people might get a kick out of this. So excuse the mess of my garage. There's a lot going on in here and I've got to tidy all this up. But what I wanted to talk about was this fireside ramblings. And so in order to get the mood and all that sort of things without actually being in the cold, at a fire, I thought I'd give the illusion of the cold and the fire and see how I go with that. So I went and I purchased a few of these. So they're flame bulbs. So I thought I'd just show you what they actually do. So here we go. That's the flickering there. So if you look at my face, now you can see that gives the illusion of firelight. And so I thought I would put a couple of these in, and to get a fire going, or have the illusion of a fire going, I'll set up a green screen and I'll be able to do it in relative comfort in a quasi studio here. Believe it or not, it's actually going to be in here. I've done quite a bit of these sorts of things in here. So I'll just turn that off. I'm standing behind it, that's why you can't see the flicker at the moment. But if I stand in front of it, and one thing I'll have to watch is that I don't get the light in my eyes. And of course I'd lower the lighting down. So instead of it being that height, I would have it close to the ground. So I can do that. I can remove that off and put it onto a small stand. I haven't put up any video for the last couple of weeks. This is actually the third week, and I thought I would do this and put this up. It's not going to be very polished like some of the other stuff that I've done. I've tried to make it very polished. I've used different cameras, different angles and that sort of thing to make it interesting, because it can be very, very boring, especially if you're sitting and you're watching two people just sitting there having a conversation, which is normally what I'd be doing with Veronica. And we were going to do something together today, but her hand is giving her a lot of trouble. She's in a lot of pain. And so she's just relaxing and resting. And she's done something to hurt her neck in some way. So the difficulty is with the CP, her body never relaxes. It's constantly jerking, and the muscles are very taut all the time. So she never gets to relax. Rather than look at more drugs. We really want to do the holistic thing. The drugs is, we want to try and get away from them altogether. I'm away from them altogether, but we're trying to get Veronica away from them now, and it's not so easy. But we're working on it. So the thing is that we've got to get rid of this pain first before we can really proceed much further down that track. Anyway, I thought I'd just mention this week. I've been really, really busy. I've been helping my cousin Gary. I will show you some of the stuff that I've been doing, cleaning up parts for, these are patterns that he's created for motor parts. He does a lot of this sort of thing, and he has been so snowed with these requests of late that he's actually asked me to give him a hand. Some of the work that I was doing for Gary is sanding, getting the part ready, the piece ready. It's a pattern. It'll be cast eventually, so it'll go to a foundry. It'll get packed in sand and the like, and then it'll be poured. It'll probably be aluminium that is used, because Gary's pretty good with this stuff. I mean, he's a pattern maker, and so he knows all these metals. And when he makes a pattern, he knows how much shrinkage there's going to be and all this sort of thing. So he knows exactly how big to make it or small to make it, or how much to allow for this and where all the angles should be. And he's very good at it. So I take my hat off to him. So it's quite a pleasure actually, and an honour to give him a little bit of a hand. So I actually enjoy it. Love working with timber.
Need to see what you're doing. You're working for a change.
Yes, I'm working for a change. I'm working very hard. Yeah. Come here.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm making sure that this is very smooth.
What's very smooth?
Everything must be very, very smooth. Must be perfect.
Like me.
Because this is a model for a machine part. Not for a motor vehicle.
For a vehicle.
Yes, it's for a motor car.
What kind of vehicle?
I think that it's a Porsche.
Okay.
It's for a Porsche.
Right.
It's part of the Porsche chassis.
Part of what?
Porsche chassis.
Okay.
Subframe.
Not that I know what it is. Really? You enjoying it?
Oh yeah.
That's good. Where's your cousin?
He's gone working over there. He's working over there. This is the finished product. It's almost ready to go to the foundry. Whole food, plant-based, I tell you what, it's really interesting stuff. And talking about that, I've got to go and get dinner ready right now. So I'm going to cut it off here. Remember, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And whenever we post anything, you'll get to see it. Now, we're going to try and post once a week, as I've said, but it's been a couple of weeks since I've posted anything, and I apologize for that. It's just life sometimes gets on top of you, you know, and that's what's happened. So, but we'll surprise everybody, and we'll have a few posts in 1 week, you know, because I've got a few projects on the go, and if I finish them all fairly close together, I'll post them all close together. So we'll go from there. Anyway, till next time, see you later. God bless.